Okay, just gonna wait until it shows up. Yeah, I'm just kind of going to get a head start before the scheduled stream in case I have any technical issues. Just wait and see if I'll just give it a minute before we see if anyone shows for this one. Let's see. Make sure. Okay, it's right there. Camera's there. Um, I mean, I guess I'll go ahead and get started. Hopefully, someone pops up as I ramble. All right, so welcome to. Oh, sorry, my thing's acting up here. Hold on. Just just getting this set up. All right. So anyway, welcome to our fourth watch along of the Disney Animation Studios lineup. Today we'll be looking at probably one of their lesser films, and that is Dumbo. And what I mean by that is this is a film that people seem to have mixed feelings for. At least nowadays, they do. It was a hit when it came out, obviously, since it's Dumbo's one of those really iconic Disney characters. But nowadays, people just say it's one of the weaker films. Some even say it's terrible. For me, based on my memory, like I said, it's been a while since I've seen this movie. I just think it's fine. Like it's a solid, cute little story about this little elephant who's trying to find his place in the world and trying to figure out how to save his mother. So, so we're going to be watching this to see if it still holds up. I think it's important to note too that this came out after Fantasia, and when Fantasia wasn't the hit that Disney was hoping for. I'm sure critics and audiences loved it, but financially it didn't make back all the money they were hoping it would, which is why their next several films would be much smaller projects. And their smaller projects, this and their next film, Bambi, would be bigger hits. So that being said, I'm gonna shut up and we're gonna go in and press play. Oh, hey Anita. I'm gonna shut up and press play. So if y'all have your copy of the film, or if you're on Disney Plus, whichever you prefer to do it, I got my Let me turn my headphones on. All right, do that on. And let's see. All right, ready in three, two, one, go. Right. All right, there. I guess it's a good thing this is one of the shorter films too. Like I completely forgot how short this movie is. It's only 64 minutes long, so which means we'll probably get done with the watch-ons earlier than usual today, hopefully, since our my David Lynch film for today is a 2 hour long film. So we'll make things means I'll be able to get through this done quicker, hopefully, as long as we don't have any technical problems. I see the rain animation has improved some. Let me just readjust myself real quick. Ah, yes, the old fable that it's the stork that brings home the babies. Yeah, I heard this film was originally going to get a Sandwich Studios. Maybe not right away, but maybe. Well, not exactly something I'm completely looking forward to, but yeah, those storks must have a really good aim if they could just aim them right to where their parents are. I haven't been to a circus in a long time, and I guess that will never happen now since they've been banned and probably for the best. But I don't recall ever been to a circus that had like kangaroos or hippos or anything like that. Are you sure this isn't just a traveling zoo? Yeah, I know. Mr. Stork appears in the Lambert short, so I guess that means those two are connected. Poor Mrs. Jumbo having baby fever, I guess. Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, yeah. I guess I never realized this as a kid, but while Mrs. Jumbo and the other elephants are Asian elephants, Dumbo, I heard it's meant to be an African elephant, which that does actually make a lot of sense. When you think about it that way. Put the zebras with the camels and hope they get along. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when you. Okay, I'm not sure, but I'm sure when you board hippos on a cart, this will have a dry cart and not filled with water. I mean, I don't know. What do I know then? I guess she's the fattest of the elephants if they can't get her through as well. um, I don't know. The remaster is interesting because I mean, like, okay, so I watched I don't know if you ever watch Jamboree. He does a lot of villains ranking videos. He's been doing the Disney villains in multiple parts, and he did bring up the remaster in one of his videos. And I know that he's a full on villain in that one Disney video game, The Villain's Revenge. This is kind of a catchy song. Never understood the whole Casey himself being anthropomorphic. I mean, no one seems to address that. But then again, I guess that's the weird world this is. So, and finally, here's Mr. Stork, voiced by Sterling Holloway, one of many of his voice performances in Disney films. I, I'm not sure if Casey Jr. was the first animated train before Thomas. There might have been something beforehand. I don't know, but I guess Mr. Stork is strong if he can carry a baby elephant. I mean, given how even a newborn baby elephant is still huge and heavy, so guess that was a bear in there. Yes, I know Sterling Holloway does the voice of Stork, who would later on go to voice Winnie the Pooh, Cod, the Cheshire Cat, and Roquefort from the Aristocats. I don't know. It's just when I heard that sound effect, it's kind of reminded me of Lumpjaw and the Bongo short from Fun and Fancy Free. So that's why I assumed it was a bear. I remember the bear from the Fox and the Hound having a more aggressive roar than that. Kind of a generic name. J Junior. No, no, doesn't have a nice ring to it, Mrs. Jumbo. You say that now, and then your mood flips on a dime pretty soon. Yeah, yeah, I know that's his original name, but I'm just saying it's that like, oh geez. I never seen Stork, so you know. Again, they flip on a dime. Like really, like you were excited for her first, and now you're making fun of her kid. Like, sheesh. Yeah, they do animate Dumbo to look really cute. I mean, kind of like real baby elephants, even though I guess according to Casual Geographic, they're not as cute as you might think. Or at least that's one helpful thing with his ears. It wraps them like a little blanket. Oh, great! It's a little engine that could. Well, obviously, I think we agree that pretty much all the originals are better than their remakes. I mean, I never saw the Dumbo remake because I heard it was terrible. Like, apparently, it's one of Tim Burton's worst films, at least in his top five. And I'm not sure if Burton's even to blame. I wonder if because the idea of Tim Burton directing a Dumbo remake could be something, but I don't know if it's just Disney holding him back from his full potential. Yeah, those tigers have it easy. Yeah, Disney does seem to like tigers, which yeah, I mean they're cool and all. Poor little Dumbo. I guess it is kind of a catchy song, but I don't know. Am I the one that finds it hard to understand what they're saying half the time? I don't know if it's because of the sound mixing. I don't know, or maybe it's just my headset. Who knows? And the circus has come to town. Hmm. Yeah, like you get a real like that could happen in real life. Have a hippo haul a pipe organ. I doubt you could do that in real life. Okay, that's a weird way of wording that. But yeah, Dumbo is definitely one of the shorter Disney films. If I recall, I think it's like the second shortest after Saludos Amigos. What a bunch of jerks laughing at a baby. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I guess they like to reuse the same hippo design in their early films. Of course, you don't want to. Of course, you don't want to mess with a real hippo. I mean, for obvious reasons. Which, like I said, I mentioned strange how a lot of these early cartoons would show like hippos in circuses. Even though I'm pretty sure that's I could be wrong, but I don't think that's ever been a thing for reasons that yeah, hippos would be possible to tame. Hmm. Ah, mother's love. But yeah, that is a huge problem for him. Is they're so big that he easily trips on them. Yeah, it is a sweet moment. That's about to get tarnished real soon. So I take it these kids have never seen an African elephant. I don't like how Dumbo doesn't even understand they're making fun of him. I mean, he's just I don't know. Maybe he's just too naive or too young to understand that. Okay, this kid is really dumb. Like I don't blame Mrs. Jumbo for acting the way she does. Again, she's just trying to protect her baby, and y'all have to react this way. Well, that guy must be really strong. I mean, either that Dumbo really is not that heavy. You deserve that. Danger, mad elephant. Like, I guess even back in the early 40s, people were still aware of the cruelty that animals took at the circus. And I guess this was Walt's attempt to like expose that. I guess people already kind of knew that even before this. I mean, there was that short video from like the 1900s of Thomas Jefferson having to electrocute an elephant. Well, this is a different scenario than those scenes. It's just a mother protecting her baby, and there was just a huge misunderstanding. I mean, sure, Timothy can relate. His ears are a little big. It is interesting that the movie never refers to him by his name. At least they never say his name. So big W for Timothy, like standing up for an elephant of all things. I mean, I never understood the whole myth of elephants being afraid of mice because I'm pretty sure that's not true whatsoever. Is King Kong? I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't want to give too much away because I want to keep some surprises. But I doubt I'll be using that. I mean, because I have already so much planned for part two and also part three. Even by for a baby African elephant, I think his ears are pretty large as well. What do I think of Once Upon a Studio? A pretty good short. Honestly, I'm gonna say it. I wish that was a feature length film that we got for the 100 years of Disney and not Wish, because that felt more like an actual like tribute to everything that the studio has brought us. Great short though. It's. I liked how they try to include as many Disney animated properties in possible films and shorts. Timothy roasting the ringmaster. I mean, dinosaur is. I mean, I know the wild is in the UK and not dinosaur, but the rest of the world it is dinosaur. So Nosferatu. Well, obviously both films are better than The Wild. But yeah, ugh, jeez. Man, the Brainwash's got a real pointy nose. Midget mastodon. That's a combination of words, Timothy. Yeah, I do miss classic 2D animated films. I've heard that I keep seeing articles how saying that Disney isn't done making 2D animated films, but I'll believe that. I need some proof for that, like a trailer or something. Wasn't it Pixar that recently announced they're going to be doing a 2D animated film? I heard something about that. I know Sony's about to release their first 2D animated film with Fixed. Especially I don't really like these elephants. It is kind of funny to hear them like roast the remaster. Like I know this is a cartoon. You shouldn't question like cartoon logic, but it's kind of funny how all these elephants can stand in this one ball. Do you ever like not complain? Yes, dinosaur is labeled at least here in the states and other parts of the world. I am aware that that in the UK the wild is part of the classics, but here at least dinosaur is part. So yes, I will be including dinosaur on this watch along set. And we're already halfway through this film. It's because he doesn't give a damn about your you animals. Yeah, the Carnotaurus and Disney dinosaur is definitely way too big to be an actual Carnotaurus. But again, we'll get to that point when we get to that movie. Like even they all call him Dumbo. I know this the elephants call him, but I guess the humans decide to call him that too. A little harsh there, Timothy. You just stabbed a baby with a needle. Yeah, I also like the Walking trilogy too. Maybe we could do watch-alongs of that in the future. Yeah, I know this Jira. This is back when pretty much every animated film was rated G until Disney made the Black Cauldron. At least in terms of like family, family animated films, not counting like Ralph Bakshi's movies that came out before. Really, you're calling a baby an assassin? Yes, Dinosaur was PG for obvious reasons. That's back when PG actually meant something. I like films like Moana or Tangle, which really didn't need to be PG. Like you could have made them G and it would have been fine. Sheesh. And down the circus it went. Poor Dumbo. I don't know. Like I said, I have way too much planned for Heroes with Villains, so I only have. There's only so much I can include without making it too crowded. I mean, it already is crowded, but again, I don't want to give too much away. I do have some surprises in store. Really, he didn't mean to. I mean, you're just gonna get mad at him for having an accident. No, I don't because I don't live in the UK. I live in the US. Really, jeez, those elephants are cruel. Like, really, just because they made him a clown, you're gonna denounce him as an elephant? Yeah, this is definitely an example of animal cruelty right here. Put a baby elephant in a burning building and put a makeup on him. Maybe I might check it out on YouTube later. Really? Yeah. Yes. This is why you don't have animals in circuses anymore. How cruel. Well, I mean, here it has a point. Main spirit is to show the cruelty the circus had towards animals, especially elephants. Come on, Timothy, can't you see the poor little guy's depressed? Born in 2001, huh? Well, of course, I was born in '93, so I'm a '90s kid. So this is the first time we see Dumbo wear his iconic hat, like just 38 minutes into the film. And it's here we get the iconic "Baby Mine" song, which I forgot how sad this song really is. Yes, it would be up there as one of Disney's most emotional moments. You see all the other circus animals with their babies. And they have enough hyenas at the circus too. Okay then. I'm pretty sure hippos don't sleep underwater. They have to sleep on land, but whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that. I mean, the Disney classics of the US between the UK is not that much different, aside from the fact that the UK one includes the wild, but you know. Back to the dirtbag clowns. Well, it's good to know at least one of the clowns has some sense of morality. And yeah, again, they want to say elephants have no feelings. Yeah, I think science and observations can tell you otherwise, since elephants are highly intelligent animals and are even capable of having funerals of their own members of their herd. I've been debating whether or not to include Looney Tunes and Heroes Villains. It's again, it's debatable, but Yeah, fix, but not fixing the way you think, because that's no water. Yeah, elephants don't actually drink with their trunk. They have this suck up the trunk, and then hose it down their mouth. Again, I know it's cartoon logic. He's drunk, which saying out loud, a baby elephant getting drunk. That's yeah, I know. This was a time when you would see Disney characters get drunk or smoking things you would not see nowadays because people have become way too sensitive to those sort of things. Yeah, great. Now the mouse is drunk. Hi, George. Yeah, this definitely feels like something you'd see in a silly somebody cartoon. Yeah, I guess Disney does like to use hyenas here and there and have a negative impression on them. Honestly, maybe that should be the trick Dumbo pulls off of the circus, just blowing huge bubbles. And here we get the scene everyone remembers the most from this movie. One of Disney's earliest trip out moments. You know, this is one of the things I was curious about with the Tim Burton remake is how they would use the pink elephants. I mean, come on, imagine Tim Burton's take on the pink elephants thing. It should be like crazy and outlandish and insane, but from what I heard, it was nerfed in the remake. I mean, the animation looks really good. Now, here's my question I've always debated with myself: which is trippier, the pink elephants or the heffalumps and woozles? Because everyone talks about pink elephants, but no one talks about the heffalumps and woozles from the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. They did reuse some animation, the heffalumps from Pink Elephants.
But yeah, Pink Elephants is definitely a prime example of a as the nostalgia critic used to say, a big left alligator moment. A scene that really doesn't add anything to the film, and it just kind of happens, and they don't really acknowledge it for the most part. Like once it's done, it's like you know, it's like well, it happened. Yeah, what were they thinking? Because keep in mind, they had to think this up and animate all this. It's pretty impressive. And then the ending is just pure chaos. Well, that happened. And we get the racist crows. I know where these guys are meant to like be a represent, I guess, minstrel shows at the time. At least that's what I've been told. I mean, yeah, you should forgive Timothy. He's just having a hangover. Yeah, I guess they are technically. I mean, unless you count some of their early shorts, but there is that. You know what I mean? The whole controversy with these crows, how they're racist caricatures of African Americans. I don't know. I guess when you compare it to films of the time, there were way worse representations. There, but I don't know. The crows end up helping Dumbo in the end. So, like, you know, I did read your comment. I'm just saying that you know the. I mean, there were ten. You could argue there were African American characters in previous ones. Even the guys that worked for the remaster during that whole set up the circus bit earlier. I did read. Well, okay. I can't just read every comedy post, right? Like it's, but I did read it. I'm just saying. I would say the crows are the first black characters in the Disney film because, like I said before, those guys earlier setting up the circus, I think, were of color, and I'm pretty sure there were some Disney shorts that featured African American types as well. And we get this iconic sound. Like, say what about the crows, you have to admit the song is pretty catchy. I mean, they've included the song in the Days of Sinalon VHSs. So I mean, then again, they also include the Zippity Doo Dah song from Song of the South. So and I did have a feeling they would not include these guys in the remake. I guess they're kind of like the voice from the jungle, but they both at first mock the main character until they hear their problems and they decide to help him. Reverend wrote it. Yeah, Surf's Up's really good, and the sequel never needed to be made. Timothy's speaking cold hard truths there. I'm not sure about the wild thornberries. Again, I can't just spew out what I'm going to conclude because I want to keep some surprises. You know, I haven't seen the wild thornberries in a long time. I mean, I guess the poachers from the movie would make good allies for some of the other poachers, but we'll see. Squishing the crow with the glasses. Yes, I'm going to keep some surprises, stuff that didn't appear in the trailers or anything, because I want to at least surprise some of y'all of what I'll be including. Dino King films? Probably not. Again, I already have so much planned. I just can't make room for everything. You know. Yes, they are Jim Crow. I don't think I've ever seen Little Polar Bear at all. I mean, I know about the movie. I just never seen it. So, sheesh. Really, how they build that? Maybe I don't know. There you go. No one expected that. A flying elephant in the circus. How's it feel to get the taste of your own medicine, huh? Yeah, they might appear. Again, I don't want to say too much. Okay. That's called karma, ladies. Yep. Wonder Elephant soars to fame for $1 million. Sets altitude record. Manager signs Hollywood contract. They actually got a mouse. Wow, that's again kind of the world they live in. Okay, now you. Okay, now these elephants are just kissing his ass. Is all they're doing. And that was Dumbo. And, so yeah, overall, really cute movie. Wouldn't say it's one of my personal favorites, but at the same time, I can see why it was the hit when it came out, and it does have a really positive message about. Well, okay, let me take those off for a second. But yeah, it has a really positive message, and also it does spread awareness of the circus of the time. Like back then, I guess people were aware of the cruelty some animals took during there. Yeah, I'd say it's one of their cuter films. But anyway, I think that'll be it for this stream. I'm going to take a probably half-hour break before we start the next stream, which will be David Lynch's next film. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'll catch